the same feeling, so I'm coming day and night.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
She's already contaminated by this odd substance.
Jesus wept.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!"
Yeah, I need to get a better theme, don't I? Better intro video than that. It's kind of meh, isn't it? It's kind of meh. Anyway, welcome to another edition, the second edition of the 90-Day Screenplay Challenge / let's write a fucking screenplay. I don't know. I still don't have a good name. I don't have a catchy name for this concept, but we're going to be doing this is going to be a pretty quick one. I'm toying, and let me know what you think of this. I'm toying with the idea of doing multiple days in a single stream, just for some of these early days. I don't know how good of an idea that is. On the one hand, I feel like I have enough of a grasp of the concept to move forward that way, but on the other hand, it might be a betrayal of the central idea. I don't know. I just want a script written in 90 days or less. That's my goal. So, haven't really decided one way or the other. Let me know if you think it's maybe too boring to just do this one day at a time, if it'd be more exciting to do it multiple days at a time, and we can marathon through the chapters a little bit in the future. Not today, though. Today, I have way too much going on, but I'm still streaming as I have made the decision to just keep on keeping on. Even when I have what looks like a sore on my lip, which is making me very self-conscious for today. I nicked myself while shaving, and now it just looks like a sore. It's non-stop eating pussy. This is what happens. Anyway. Hey, Josh. Let's go with day 2. Yeah! Yeah! All right. All right, so let's just go ahead and pop this up. So, to quote the great and completely non-problematic Woody Allen, 80% of success is showing up. And that's what we're doing today. We're showing up. So, the main takeaway from this chapter is right here on the second page. As we imagine the world of the story, let's notice that each of our characters perform a different function while all wanting the same thing. A novel can be about many things, but a screenplay typically explores a single core idea. And basically, there's another sentence here that actually helps to illustrate this. Let's see, we have 2 hours to convey an entire world. A good screenwriter is always searching for ways to distill his ideas, blah, blah, blah. This work is a major shift for some of us. Maybe this is in a different chapter and I'm just remembering weird. Either which way, we're looking for a core single idea, and that's what today's writing exercises are about. I already have one note for myself that I decided to write down beforehand so I didn't forget. That we need to convey that the antagonist could be attempting to sabotage the production before revealing in the end that he's been trying to save it. I think that to keep not the identity of the killer. The identity of the killer is kind of a cheat because I feel like what's going to wind up happening is he's going to be very background and might come out of nowhere. Not like Pamela Voorhees coming out of nowhere, but still coming out of nowhere. But that's okay. The main twist in my mind is that he's not trying to sabotage the production, but trying to save it. And so the various murders that happen that make production even more challenging should come off as sabotage and not as trying to save the production. I think that that's, simple enough. Our writing, baby talk. Our writing exercises for today. We've got to distill the idea for our screenplay down to a single word. Is it about love, forgiveness, revenge, freedom, truth, justice, honor, respect, validation, vindication? Here's a clue. What does your protagonist want? So that'll be our first. What was I using? Periods or yeah. I'm going to be consistent. Distill the idea down to a single word. I feel like that single word would be success. That's really what the protagonist wants, is success. And that's what the antagonist is preventing. That's what the protagonist is even preventing himself by not going about things in a more logical manner. So I would say success is the thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a sticking point for me and Pamela Voorhees. I kind of talked about that in my last video about Friday the 13th and the 8 sequences. But yeah, I think that we'll, in my mind, we're going to plant the seed throughout the film that this character is in the background listening in, and kind of leave it at that. I definitely want it to be a twink, so that Twink of the Damned can still make sense as a title once we get going. I will have to cast that, which is annoying, but whatever. I'm sure I can find a good twink. I'm seemingly surrounded by them. All right, so success is the idea. Well, that's what the protagonist wants. Is that the idea of the screenplay in a single word? I guess so. Because in my mind, the idea is something that everyone in the script wants. Everything, something that everyone in the film wants is the idea for the script. It's the theme. It's what we're striving toward. And I think it's just success. There is vindication. There is validation. There's something there about respect. Respect might be the second runner. That might be the runner-up for the idea that we can bring in as the single word, because it is a character striving for respect in their industry. Although the kind of movies that our character is making, I feel like he knows that he's not going to get a lot of respect for them, that it's more about getting the job done. So in that way, it is about success. So I'm going to say success. I think that that's reasonable. And then our next, let's 2A. As your protagonist, write for 5 minutes, beginning with what makes me angry is, what breaks my heart is, and I believe my role in life is to... ... All right, so one second. Okay. 2A. What makes me angry is the thought of not finishing what I've started. That seems about right. 2B. What breaks my heart is seeing an unfinished project. 2C. I believe my role in life is to create entertainment. And that seems too easy. That seems way too easy. We'll explore this in a second. Let's go ahead and pop over to number 3, which is the same format. What makes me angry, but as the antagonist, right? These 3 writing exercises as an antagonist in your story. What makes me angry is being ignored. 3B, what breaks my heart is seeing my hero. Let's see. How would he feel about what's going on with our main character? Do we go with Josh Wakefield? Was that the? Yeah. Hero, Josh Wakefield. Because like the thing about the antagonist is he could have all sorts of things going on in his life, but for all intents and purposes, and for our purposes, all that matters for him is this movie. Hey, Allison. So what breaks my heart is seeing my hero, Josh Wakefield, being, let's see, because he has to blame the people on the production instead of Josh. Because if he blames Josh, it kind of ruins his motivation. So the person whose fault it is for the production not working is Josh. And Josh and the antagonist both have to come to realize that. Although, I suppose, I think we kind of brought this up last time, Josh will have probably figured out that aspect of his problem by the end of the first act. I could be mistaken, though, about that. It might take longer. It might take until even the midpoint. I'm not entirely sure. But for the antagonist, what breaks my heart is seeing my hero, Josh Wakefield, being dragged down by those around him. And of course, how does the problem get fixed? Probably by utilizing those around him and acceptance or something. I don't know. This is where I'm a little dodgy. A little dodgy. But I think that works. 3C. Now do blah, blah, blah. I believe my role in life is 2. I believe my role in life is 2. Is to watch that Superman trailer again and again, baby. I believe my role in life. Well, okay. Presumably he hasn't killed before this. Ooh, we could even make the first murder kind of Scream-esque. And make it kind of so the killer has some problems and eventually makes it out. I did just realize that the one problem with this concept, 28 Years Later is the best trailer of the year. Easy. Yeah, no doubt about that. I think because of how it's going to be set up, because I know exactly who is going to be the first death, and we are going to go full on tropes that don't really exist, but people think they do. And our first death is going to be a black guy, which could be better, but also I can see it now. And we're going to start with like a lot of beefcake in the movie. So at least there's that. It fulfills the need for beefcake. I don't know that we have any other... Do we have any other minorities in the cast? I don't think so. So maybe should do something about that before we get in production. That's a down the line thing, though. It's one of those things you just kind of have to consider when you're making your movie. Because you don't want to... you don't want to offend in weird ways, I suppose. Oh, Allison, you were disappointed in 28 Months Later? I fucking love 28 Months Later. I haven't seen it since it came out, so maybe... but I believe my role in life is to... So he's... Okay, sorry. All right. So the antagonist has listened in on conversations at this bar where they work, and in those conversations has ascertained the problems. So I need to write a note. Need characters, well, Josh and co. to need Josh and company to actively discuss production problems at the bar. Which I'm going to try to get the Phoenix. I don't know if we can get that bar, but it'd be really cool if we did. I'll have to get someone on that. Mad Mike, thank you for catching a stream. Yeah, we are writing Twink of the Damned. And this is day 2 of a 90-day challenge to write a script. Earlier in the stream, I brought up the idea that maybe we could take a few of the days and squish them together. If you look at, let's see here, the book, day 3, there's a good bit of stuff, and then the writing exercises are fairly simple, and day 4 is also fairly simple. I guess we could, I mean, I've already got my core stuff written out for day 2. We could, I didn't want to do day 3, but we could do day 3. After all, we do need to be curious, not judgmental. First death character is, actually, we already know. Oh, wait a second. There we go. Greg, which is noted stereotypical black guy name, Greg. No, this is not the same book as the Friday the 13th breakdown video. That book is The Sequence Approach. It's the full title is Screenwriting the Sequence Approach. Actually, let's see here. Yeah, it's this book right here. Screenwriting the Sequence Approach. Fuck, where am I? There we go. Which I highly recommend. Very good book. That one, and then there's another book that's just called maybe it's not called 8 Sequences. Wait a second. Let me... Where's my cursor? There we go. 8 Sequences book. I don't remember the title. Plot Basics. I'll just bring this over here. This is also a really good book. I recommend Plot Basics, Plot Your Novel or Screenplay in 8 Sequences. It's very good in that it is very straight to the point and doesn't really get bogged down in being verbose, I guess. It's very simple. It's just, here's the 8 sequences, here's how they work, bada bing, bada boom. And I like the 8 sequences quite a bit. It's my favorite way of explaining plot, and I think it is the most adaptable. I guess just saying, I guess the 3-act structure is, by its very nature, the most adaptable, because you can take any script and break it down into 3 acts, and it's harder to do 8 sequences, and not every movie is necessarily going to break down into 8 sequences, but pretty much every screenplay worth its proverbial salt can be broken down into 8 sequences. So recommend that. Doop, doop, doop. All right. Brain. Oh, I didn't finish the fucking prompt. I believe my role in life is to... Okay, so this is the antagonist. Oh, not a problem, Mike. Not a problem. All right, so this is the antagonist. I believe my role in life is to... okay, so as soon as you go from being the bartender listening in to actively murdering people, your goal in life has changed, and therefore your role in life has changed. So the role in life is to I guess it's just to protect Wakefield's career. Like, really, that's what it comes down to. Is they're so obsessed. This is tough for me to get into the character mindset because I don't really understand like super fandoms, which I know is weird for someone who has as many Blu-rays as I do. But it's something that doesn't really stick in my brain, is being a super fan of something. When someone's like, no offense to Snyder fans, but Zack Snyder fanboys blow my mind. I don't get it at all. I just don't understand. And I run into them all the time. There's a group I'm in on Facebook where there's one guy who is a huge Zack Snyder fan, and everything related to James Gunn, he just has like the same, like he just will, he'll be gunning for him. And with the latest Superman trailer is the same thing, where it's like, this doesn't look like complete shit, but I'm waiting for Gunn to throw in some dick and shit jokes and Superman to tell Lois that he likes poop, which is silly. But I don't understand that hyper fan mindset at all. And that's just an example. There's plenty of other fandoms that are irritating. That's just the one that comes to mind. All right. So the protagonist, what makes me angry is the thought of not finishing what I've started. And how my actions have been the root cause of that. So I'm trying to decide. This is tough. I'm trying to decide what, and we'll get into this as we go through the days, I'm sure, but what mindset Josh Wakefield has in regards to himself and his role in making things go awry. I really want to just write some pages, but that's not what the book says, which is irritating. We could start day 3. Fuck it. Let's just start day 3. So this is interesting. I work with many writers who cling desperately to their idea of the plot, only to realize later that they have painted themselves into a corner. They reach a point in the story where they are moving their characters around like chess pieces in an attempt to fulfill their idea of their story, yet the character's behavior no longer rings true. Excuse you, dog. By allowing our characters to live and interact in our imagination without... Dude, why are you just coming into my office and shaking your fucking ass? What the hell? Fucking dogs, man. Oh, my hair. Oh, my hair. Everything's going so well. Dog. I don't know if y'all can hear this fucking dog. She just came on in. She has her collar and she's just making noise. By allowing our characters to live and interact in our imagination without following a prescribed plan, our subconscious is free to make nonlinear connections that our conscious mind would never have delivered. Which is fair and does potentially solve my problem. So basically, we want to create a log line. Let's go ahead. Let's fuck it. Let's go create day 3. A log line is usually a single sentence that tells us what the movie is about. A log line not only summarizes the screenplay, but also includes the obstacle that our hero must overcome in achieving his goal. So summarizes the screenplay and includes the obstacle that our hero must overcome in achieving his goal. I believe the writing, you spend 10 minutes exploring your log line. All right. So we don't want the characters to be out of character, to serve the plot, or just to serve the plot. Which is, I will say, that is kind of what got me on the side of Alan Watt to begin with, is his character-focused way of doing things. That's a good way of, honestly, that's a great way of putting it. Thank you, Jake. All right, so yeah, let's fuck it. We've only been live for 26 minutes. We can try day 3 and just see what happens. I don't see a problem. If someone disagrees with me, please let me know in the comments if this is a stupid idea. But I think it's a perfectly reasonable idea because we did this really fast, and I think I definitely could add more to these, but I just don't. I don't have it in me right now. But the beauty of this, looking at it like as one page. Oh, I just realized that I changed halfway how I was doing this. But if we look at this all as one document, we can go back and we can play around a bit. We can use the book as our question sheet, and then go to the answer sheet, and we can play around and see how things have changed over time. This might be something that the book covers, honestly. I haven't looked far enough to know. But let's see here. So let's look at the log line examples that he gives. I've never seen The Attack, so I'm not going to use that one. But Bridesmaids, a cynical woman who has lost faith in love is asked to be the maid of honor at her best friend's wedding. Jerry Maguire, after losing his job for encouraging his co-workers to run a kinder, gentler company, a sports agent sets out to live up to the values he asserted. Okay. So spend 10 minutes exploring your log line, see if you can distill your idea down to one sentence. Let's see here. Mike says, just finished The Penguin. While you can see many things coming, it's not because of a crap plot, but because the characters were so well realized that you know how they would usually act. That's a good, yeah, that's true. The Penguin is an exceptionally well-written show. BT dubs, for those who have not checked it out. Okay, so log line. So first off, I'm going to go back over here. God darn it. I keep having multiple windows is never anything more than a nightmare. After losing his job for encouraging his cynical woman has lost faith in love. This is where the edited version of these live streams is going to come into play later, because I think my cat might be outside. Fucker. Let's see. So, first off, what are we like? Who's our protagonist? A low-budget film director. Let's see. What does he have to do? He must finish his film within a week, or else get sued into oblivion. So that's his basic objective. And the real question is, what does he need to recognize about himself that will lead to him succeeding at his goal? Also, I wonder what I've never actually looked up. Let's see, slasher movie logline. Let's see if there's any. All right, so I brought up, not on, y'all can't see this, but I brought up a list of log lines for various films, various horror films. Let's see here. Though I don't know that these are necessarily any good. Let's see, The Exorcist. When a 12-year-old girl is possessed by a mysterious entity, her mother seeks the help of two priests to save her. That is the plot. I guess, we could go with that. Just the plot. Which we would need to... So, let's get sued into oblivion, while also contending with a... Well, shoot. The other thing is, if we're going with the standard slasher formula, then our character isn't, and we talked about this yesterday, our character isn't going to know that there's a killer on the loose until pretty much the end. Ooh, God. Mike, you're rocking it. You're rocking it, Mike. Oh, a low-budget film director has a week to fix his latest film and himself before both are lost to oblivion. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, this is a slasher movie. The question is how we're going to implement it. My biggest concern is I don't want to just be terror firmer. That's the one, like the first movie that popped into my head when I came up with the concept was, well, that's just terra firma, which is not 100% accurate, but I do worry about going that direction. This is meant to be funny. This is supposed to be a comedic slasher movie, and that's essentially what terra firma is. It's also about making a low budget movie. I might even rewatch Terra Firma just to see if I can avoid themes explored in that film. That's a tough oof. But okay, low budget film director has a week to fix his latest film. I like that part right there. Perfect. Has a week to fix his latest film. And really what he wants is success. So that is his goal in every sense. It's his internal need is success. And I guess his internal need really isn't success. His internal need is to recognize his faults and overcome them. But I'm not sure we can really put that in a log line. But that gets across his plot objective. So a low-budget film director has a week to fix his latest film while a killer is on the loose. And that while he won't come up against the killer directly until probably the third act, or at least the end of the second act, the killer on the loose is a problem. Okay, y'all are about to see my bare legs because I have to let a cat inside. I'm not wearing pants. Oh, you're inside. I misjudged how wide my angle was. All right. My cat's whining. The dogs are wild. Okay. So a low-budget film director has a week to fix his latest film while a killer is on the loose. I think that's that's not a terrible log line. Let's see here. After losing his job for encouraging his coworkers to run a kinder, gentler company, a low-budget film director has a week to fix his latest film. Has a week to fix. So, okay. Thinking about it out loud. Thinking about it out loud. A low-budget film director. The project. Okay, so Twink of the Damned is the film within the film. It's also the name of our film. But when we talk about Twink of the Damned, it's just going to be the film within the film. So Twink of the Damned is a supernatural horror film being made for 10 grand, which I might upgrade to like 20 grand or something, but that's beside the point. And all the money has been used up, and they are, let's say, halfway through production. And the director has had a crisis of faith in himself, and we're now several months removed from the initial shoot, and a bunch of stuff has changed. We have actors who are mad. We have an investor who's pissed off and threatening to sue. We have missing talent. Early on, one of our actors is killed. Not that we don't know that he's been killed. Oh my God, this cat is driving. One second, I'm gonna let my cat outside because she's driving me crazy. Cats. Cats. Okay. So, low-budget film director has a week to fix his. Well, we can assume it's his latest. That's so his. Abandoned isn't the exactly right term, but fix his abandoned film while a killer is on the loose. So it's a film that he pretty much has abandoned. Not abandoned. Like there's got to be a better word for it, but it's essentially something where he wants to quit, and he basically has, but he can't quit. Might be getting ahead here, but if it's shooting in a remote location for budget reasons, it would also limit suspects and outside communication. That's a good point. Troubled. Ooh, troubled film. There we go. Thank you. Troubled. Fixes troubled production. Let's say production. while a killer is on the loose. The problem, Mike, with putting it in a remote location is I really want to keep a central joke that it is shooting in the same house as every other project that they've worked on, and I'm not sure I can make it seem like that house, because I know exactly where we're shooting. I don't know that I can make it seem like that house is in a remote location. But that's why we're going to go with a week. It's going to kind of give us the leeway to ignore the fact that people are dying, because it's basically, oh, Greg hasn't shown up. Well, fuck. Without Greg, we can't shoot these scenes, but we only have a week to shoot the whole movie. Okay, fuck it. We're scrapping his scenes. Let's rewrite on the spot, basically. So let me make sure that I'm burp. What was I even talking about? Is this how you're working, Adderall? You need to up your shit, man. So it has to be... I forgot what I was... Hopefully when I'm going through and editing this down, I can remember what I was trying to make a note of, because I completely... Anyway, let's just move on to the next thing. I think that's a pretty good log line. A low-budget film director has a week to fix his troubled production while a killer is on the loose. That tells you everything you really need to know. Doesn't really give you the character... Well, it gives you his motivation, at least. Right for 5 minutes, beginning with what I want to express through this story is... This exercise addresses the reason you want to tell your story. This is not about the specific characters in your story or even a specific event. There is something universal that you want to express, something that everyone can relate to. Okay. This is where things get a little boring. What I want to express through this story. I gotcha. Yeah, I feel like the slasher element will be more like Scream in as far as how the locations go. But the difference is we're not going to have bodies falling all over the place until Act 3. Oh God. I feel like tomorrow I'm going to come back for this stream and going to have like so many ideas. This is triggering something. But what I want to express through this story... Shit. What I want to express through this story is my own frustrations with the creative process and how I allow failure to control my actions. That's really, I mean, if I'm being honest, that is what it is. I have a lot of frustrations with low-budget filmmaking and trying to get stuff done with very little resources. So yeah, I think what I want to express through this story is my own frustrations with the creative process and how I allow failure to control my actions. I think that that's about it. This exercise addresses the reason you want to tell your story. This is not about the specific characters in your story or even a specific event. This is something universal that you want to express, something that everyone can relate to. So how can I make this more universal? I feel like, see, I want to contend with this is really hard because this is me having to actually dig into like my personal bullshit. Wait a second, let me just... Floop. I want to contend with how... Let's see, Mad Mike says limitations and hurdles between what I envision and what can actually be accomplished. Oh, that's so good. Oh, see, this is my secret. Is I'm just utilizing you fuckers to make my job easier. That's what's happening right here. With the I'm just gonna take that full hog. Limitations and hurdles between what I envision and what can actually be accomplished. Big thanks to Mad Mike. That is quality shit right there, my dude. Big ups. Big ups. Okay, I want to contend with the limitations and hurdles between what I envision and what can actually be accomplished. So what we'll have to do, let's go back down to our notes. Josh will have to accept that he can't do exactly what he envisions, and in order to complete the film, he must will have to accept that he can't do exactly what he envisions. In order to complete the film, he must throw away some of his vision in order to just throw away some of his vision. All right. So then 3, as your protagonist, 3A, it's one of those. As your protagonist, write for 5 minutes, beginning with my last thought before I go to sleep is. Let's see here. My last thought before I go to sleep is whether I will get anything done tomorrow. That's easy. That's just me. 3B, if anyone knew this, okay, if anyone knew this about me, I would be crushed. That's not really a sentence to complete, but whatever. I'll accept it. He must learn to compromise. Mad Mike, you son of a bitch. Must learn to compromise. That is the word of the day, compromise. In fact, if we go back up here to day 2, I'm just going to make a note, really, or compromise. Oh, compromise. Compromise. See, right there, we've succeeded. In making adjustments. If anyone knew this about me, I would be crushed. What? Okay. Well, the fact that I wasted the money given to me. Easy. That's his not secret, I guess. I mean, I guess it's a secret because he's not going to want to tell anybody, at least not until the end, maybe, that he wasted the money. I need to make sure that the slasher element kind of fits in here neatly too, but whatever. Yeah, that's his problem, is he wasted the money. I think we kind of explored that yesterday by saying that he... Oh, there it is. My biggest regret is not spending my money more wisely when first shooting Twink of the Damned. I wish I had taken that money and invested it in time and energy rather than equipment. So, wasted money to give me. I should have spent it on, I guess, keeping my crew happy rather than fancy gadgets and equipment to make me feel like more of a filmmaker. Okay. So, Josh, I gotta tie this in somehow. I feel like with Twink of the Damned, he wanted to do something a little more than the usual, and that was his mistake. And let's see, Josh used the money he was given in a different way than normal. However, he used it on equipment and not on quality. Yeah, I think that's because I that's something I feel like is sort of universal with independent filmmakers right now, and maybe it always has been this way, but I think with the rise of YouTube filmmaker culture, I suppose, there's that kind of, you need the newest gadget, you need this, you need that to make your movie, and the reality is you don't really need almost any of that stuff. You know, you can make a movie that's perfectly good with just a basic ass camera and some sound equipment. I am now worried that we are not going to have the sufficient equipment to make it look like that is the case, because I do not have that great of equipment, but that's a problem for down the line. Although that being said, if we use the Ursa as the camera, we can scratch it a lot of it, or make a lot of it just be based around buying the camera. Because I think, I want to say that my camera and lens setup is, at least original pricing, was probably close to 10 grand. I'd have to go and look at how much I spent, because it's been a while, but yeah. Yeah, there's films that have used iPhones. And yeah, he needs to learn to be more confident in his abilities. Yeah. This is gold, Mike. This is gold. Ooh, that's a good point. I could probably find good deals on broken gear. That's a very good point. If it's just for set dressing, for production design, could probably get some used and broken stuff and just make it seem like it's working, or have it in the background, etc. His big that actually, you know what? That's, you say that, and I feel like you're half joking, but I could I think I probably know someone who could lend me a slider. That's another thing, is I probably have all the friends necessary to lend equipment and just bring it by for the days that we need it. And it would be really funny if he spent like, I don't know, $2,000 on a fucking slider. Oh God. That's something that I have not done. I've wasted a lot of money on equipment, which is where a lot of this is coming from. I have 2 sliders, neither of which was particularly expensive, and neither of which I particularly like to use. I wish I sold my dolly. I had a Dana dolly, but I sold it because I was out of money. That'd be nice to have for this, because that looks more expensive, but what are you gonna do? So basically he needs to learn to not blame others, and not even to blame himself, but to suck it up and get things done, really. Which is a bit of a utilitarian character motivation, but that's what I got. All right, so we have that, and then let's see, C3C, I will be redeemed when, let's see, I almost feel like the Evil Dead 2x4 thing should be in the film somehow. Like, someone should make that comparison. We need to really get across. There's another note I should probably make for myself. Need to get across how equipment seems important to filmmakers, but the reality is that they only need imagination. Well, and perseverance. How the fuck do you spell perseverance? There we go. Only need imagination and perseverance. And knowledge, I guess. That's a... You do need to actually know what you're doing. I don't know how much of that will actually play into the final product, but I guess, you know what, since he's, you know what, I can use my experience making the head here, because with the head we had nothing, and we made the movie with essentially nothing. So I need to go back and really consider the making of that movie, because that's easily my greatest success up to this point. So something like that could be his success. Maybe this is the first time he's ever gotten a budget. I was thinking of it like a David Dakota, where he has like little spurts of money that he uses, but maybe this could be the first time he actually has a budget. And up to this point, he's been a no-budget filmmaker, and still with 10 grand or 20 grand or whatever, it's technically no budget, but it's the first time he's been given money, someone else's money to spend, and he failed to spend the money properly. Yeah. Let's see here. What if the budget problem forces him to say fuck it and go back to his early days using things like a 2x4 or a cameraman strapped to a handcart and re-find his passion and confidence? I like that. I'll just passion, confidence. Redeemed when I find my passion and confidence. Easy. Okay, yeah. And that's day 3. All right, and we're at an hour. This is amazing. Okay, we did 2 days worth of these activities. Did I? God, I'm so bad at consistency. Consistency, people. Come on. I hope this live stream people find this more interesting once we actually get to the writing part, which will not be that long if we do it like this. Day 4 seems pretty simple. Day 5, a little less simple, but still easy enough. So I think we could probably, I believe, if I remember correctly, table of contents, day 29 is when we start writing the first draft. So maybe tomorrow we try and get through 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's make that our goal, to get through week 1. I will not guarantee that we're going to do that, but that can be our goal. And if we don't get that far, that's fine. But try to get through 4, 5, 6, and 7. At very least, do 4 and 5. And try to keep these down to about an hour, I think is a good way of doing it. But yeah, that's it. Easy. Right? That is not bad. Thanks, Mike. You're the MVP for today. That's some good shit. Good shit. All right. That's all I got. Let's see. I'm glad you're doing this live stream, warts and all, because I now know that I'm not alone in swerving all over the road when working. I'm glad I can be here for you, man. This is going to be a weird exercise, and it feels really weird to be this prone in front of people. But yeah, this will be an interesting experience at the very least. And at also very least, we're going to come out of this with a screenplay. God damn it. So until next time, guys, go watch a movie. No, go make a movie. Go make a movie.
It's gonna take me some time to give you all that is mine. I'm looking ultra